Okay, can you see my desktop? Okay. All right. Let me talk about the existing updates for the existing plugins. We are updating, it's mostly centered around Team Surf. And we've made PHP updates, we've made compatibility updates, but we've really taken the time to implement a lot of features a lot of owners have been requesting for Team Surfing. Things like being able to see which previous teams won the previous weeks, being able to just better manage the invitations. So if somebody accepts an invitation and then they go back to another one, they don't get taken from one team to the other. There was just a lot of confusion there. So what I've really done is I went to Traffic Era because Traffic Era was launched in 2008 and was really one of the first major team surfing sites, and it's been around for a long time. So the system there has been updated and tuned, and just with hundreds of real members using it, thousands of real members using it. So we took a lot of stuff from Traffic Era and adapted it to the LFMTE Team Surf plugin. So you get a better experience, you get better connection between the members as they're surfing, so you get better activity, better engagement, and also just a much more reliable system on the back end. So when you go into your admin panel, you can download the updates. If you have Team Surfing installed, you'll see the update in your app store. It's just a one-click update, and it'll keep all of your teams, it'll keep all of their points, so you don't have to reset up everything. But when you update it, the Team Surfing admin panel will look like this. Now, this is just a test site. I only have one team, and I've just got a couple accounts I set up just to test it to make sure everything's working. But you can see right away the number of teams you have, the number of members, the number of active people, and then there's a countdown to the next reset. Um, you can see the current standings, and of course, on a live site, you'd have a lot more teams, so you could see where each team is standing, who the captain is, how many members they have, how much activity they have. And then you can see for the previous week the standings. So you can go to the full history, and then you can see last week. This is just my test team, but you can see that team won. You can see how many points they got, how many active members there were, and how many bonus credits were given to each member from the team activity. The prizes, this works just like before. You can set up weekly prizes on top of the credits that are distributed from your activity points. So you can give them credits, you can give them banners, text ads, you can give them cash. This is just an extra thing that you can add on top of the activity points. And then there's some new settings. You can call them, so you can name it if you want to call it something else rather than teams. For example, on traffic pods, one of our old sites, we called them pods, where people move to the next pod rather than the team. So if you wanted to come up with a clever name related to your site's theme, you can do that and it will update it through the members area. Everything else, I think you can probably leave these on default. These work pretty well for our sites. The number of clicks you have to get an activity point, the most number of members that you can have on one team. 25 works pretty good for most small and large sites. You can choose who can create a team, so you can make it so they have to be an upgraded member in order to create their own team. So you can make that an upgraded benefit. You can allow the captains to give your team members credits or cash. By default, credits are enabled. Cash is disabled because that might make you a little bit riskier. But if you want to set up your site to allow your team captains to pay their members cash, you can set that up if you want to. Um, these are the new settings that just help keep things a little bit cleaner. So if somebody requests to join a team and the team owner doesn't respond, it'll expire after 14 days. So you don't have all these requests that just pile up because on the old system, you would have sometimes 100 messages in your inbox. If you didn't check them or decline them or approve them, they would just keep building up indefinitely. So now if you get a request and the owner doesn't respond in 14 days, the invitation expires. And the same thing, this is pretty much the same thing, but this is if a team owner invites a member to join their team, versus the other one is if a member requests to join a team. This is something that we have on Traffic Era. It's disabled by default, but we have it so somebody can't jump teams a day or an hour or however long before the reset. I'm not sure if this is something that's really needed, but it's something that has worked well in Traffic Era before to just discourage people from rearranging teams at the last minute just to get in before the reset. So if you do enable this, it's set for 3 days. So if team reset is Saturday night, this means on Thursday the teams will lock. So you can't join a team, you can't leave a team. Um, so from Thursday to Saturday, they're locked. And then when it resets and the teams reset back to zero activity points, the lock removes. So then if you want to switch teams, you can. Or you can just leave this off if you don't think that's something that you need. Let me go into the members area because there are a lot of changes on that side as well. The design has been completely redone, so it's got a modern, more cleaner design. But you still have this first page that explains what a team is, how you join. It explains what activity points are. It explains when the team's reset. So this pretty much gives the full explanation of what how the team surfing works. Now for the top teams, this has been redesigned. So now you can see I only have one team, but you can pull down and you can see a list of all the members in each team, how many activity points they have. So if you have a really active site with a lot of teams and a lot of members, this looks a lot cleaner and a lot easier to read than the old one. Because the old one was just an old table where it had all the teams listed and it just, this is just a much cleaner, much easier to read design. You can see, just like in the admin panel, now you can see who the recent winners were. So you can see which team won last week, and you can also see how many points they earned. And then again, you can see the members and how many credits each member got from their team surfing reward. If you are a captain or if you're a member of the team, the My Team page is where you manage your team, and the general layout's the same as before, but again, everything's been cleaned up. Everything's a lot easier to use. This is the transfer option I was showing earlier. So if you're a team captain and you want to give a reward to one of your members, let's say one of your members was surfing a lot yesterday and they earned a lot of activity points for the team and you want to give them a reward, the team captain can do that. They just pick their member, pick what they want to give the reward. If the team captain is, you know, no longer going to be active, or if they want to step down from running their team and if they want to pass the team ownership on to another member, they can do the transfer here. And then if the team captain wants to kick a member, if somebody's not active or if they're causing issues, just for whatever reason, the team captain does have the option to remove a member from their team. The team captain can message their members and just see how active each one is. Unteam member. This is if you have members who aren't on a team, it lists them here, and then the team captain can go through this page and then invite somebody. If somebody is really active and they're not on a team, you could invite them, say, "Hey, welcome, I have a pretty active team. I see you have a pretty active surfing record. Let's join together and we can all earn more credits that way." Start a team. So I'm already a captain, but if I was an upgraded member that was allowed to create a team, then on this page, this is where I would name my team and set it up. Rewards. So this keeps track of how many rewards the team has won for this week. And if it ended today, it shows how many bonus credits each member would get from the team activity. Now, rallies I'll get to in a minute because that's the new plugin that we have today. Um, the other feature that we've updated is the chat plugin. And again, we've made PHP updates and database updates to make um, the chat run better on newer PHP versions and things like that. But the big feature that we've added, again, is related to team surfing. So if you have the chat mod installed and team surfing installed, when you go to chat mod and then chat box settings, you'll see a new checkbox here called enable team chat. And when you enable this, each team gets their own private chat room, just like on Traffic Era. And this is a big thing on Traffic Era. A lot of the highly active teams, they're in there all day, every day talking to each other. Let's surf so many this day, and you know, we're in second place. Let's surf a little bit more today. I think we can get into first place. Just a lot of excitement builds up in those chat rooms. And that was something that the LFMTE system was lacking until now. And now if you enable this, it's just real easy to use from the member's perspective. So once you check that box, if a member is on a team, when they're surfing, they just see a new tab at the top. So this is the LFMTE chat, the test team. They just switch to that team and they're automatically logged in and they can chat with all of their team members. It's all automatic. They don't have to create an account um, or anything like that. So you can see here, this is about team rallies. I'll talk about that in a minute, but you can see here all of the team members can just chat with each other, and this is a private chat for those team members where they can talk about strategy, they can talk about surfing plans, and all of that becomes even more important with the Team Rallies plugin. Okay, I think that about covers the team updates. Let me get into the new plugin, and this is Team Rallies. And this is something that I've been testing on Traffic Era for about 3 months now. And all of the top teams are participating in it. Pretty much every week, they're scheduling their rallies and they're getting their teams involved. So this is working really well with the most active teams. It's really getting people hyped up. It's getting people participating. But what this does is this allows the team captain to schedule, let's say once per week or wherever you set it at, they can set a team rally and they set the date, they set the time, and it lasts for 1 hour. And for that 1 hour, there's increased activity points. And for every member on the team who surfs, the activity point bonus goes even higher. So if you have a 10-person team and if 5 people start surfing during that hour, they get a pretty good boost. But if 7 people join in, they get an even higher boost. And if all 10 people join in at some point during that rally, you get what's called a perfect rally. And this is the ultimate reward for teams. If the team captain can rally everyone on their team to surf for that hour, you get the perfect rally and you get all of the bonus activity points. Plus, everything gets doubled. And there's this big special announcement. You have reached the perfect rally status, and it goes into the history so the team can see that they've accomplished the perfect rally. And since this increases the activity points, this also boosts the credits that each member gets at the end of the week. And during this team rally, even though it only lasts for an hour, you can get teams that quadruple and just really surge in the team rankings. If the team captain strategizes this perfectly and gets all the team members active in it, then it really builds a lot of excitement, really adds onto the team surfing experience. Let me go through a few settings. So if, again, this is just the test site. This is just where I have my own team and a few of my own accounts where I'm just making sure everything works. On a live active site, this would be a lot more exciting. You could be able to see all of the active rallies that are scheduled. You can see how many have been completed this week. You can see the recent ones. So you can see here how many of the team members participated, um, how high their bonus got. So again, this is a pretty small team. I only got up to the warm-up status, which is giving me a 1.5 multiplier on my activity points. And then if I had a team and I had all of my members active, this is where it would show I achieved that perfect rally and my bonus got doubled at the end of the rally. So settings, there's a lot of things you can adjust here. So you can set how long it lasts. Again, on traffic era, I have it set to an hour. That seems to work pretty well for everyone. It gives members a chance to jump in and earn that extra activity for a while and surf. I think if it's any longer, I think you kind of risk diluting it a little bit, and maybe you would just have members just surfing for too long and not really getting that focused effort that the team rally is so good at building. You could set how much of an advance notice you need to give. So this is in 20 minutes, I would need to schedule the team rally 20 minutes before it has to start. I have this pretty low because it's a test site, but if you wanted it to be 120 minutes, then they would have to schedule it 2 hours in advance. And this just kind of, encourages team captains to really strategize a little bit. You don't want somebody to say, oh, let's just do a team rally, and just schedule and start it right away. You want team captains to be thinking, okay, I'm going to schedule one on July 27th at 3 p.m. Eastern, and I'm going to message all of my team members. I'm going to post in the chat, hey, remember we have that rally coming up. So this really encourages people to use it that way to really enhance the team surfing experience. The gap, this is how long you have to wait after one team rally ends before you can start another one. Just so you can't say, oh, it's the end of the hour, let's just start another one right away. This requires them to space it out a little bit. And again, as the owner, you can choose exactly how you want this set and how restrictive you want it to be for your members. The active surfer timeout. So this is how long somebody's counted as an active surfer. So they have to surf within 300 seconds. If during that rally, after 300 seconds, if they stop surfing, then they're no longer counted as active and they drop off from that surf multiplier. The bonuses. So this is for every tier, which I'll show in a minute. This is an activity point bonus. How much extra activity points they get for each tier they reach. The perfect rally multiplier, this is if they achieve that perfect rally, if they get all their team members surfing, this is that bonus that's applied at the end. So it's 2 times. So right now, if they achieve perfect rally, whatever they earn during that rally gets doubled. But you could quadruple it a bit. You could have it even be even more rewarding if you want it to be. Uh, this is the minimum number of members that a team needs to have in order to qualify for a perfect rally. You don't want members to just set up one team and then just join it and they're the only person in the team and then they just schedule their own rallies and they just hit that perfect rally every time because they're the only member. You want to encourage captains to be building their team, to be bringing in new members and things like that. So I've got it set to three, so you have to have at least three members in the team for that team to even qualify for the perfect rally bonus. Uh, Near perfect. So one of the things that the Team Rallies plugin does is with that new Teams chat, there's a bot that constantly announces what's going on and it builds up hype. It says, Eva just joined the Team Rally, or Robert just joined the Team Rally. So as new members join in, it says who's surfing. It announces every time you get a bonus. And what this does is if you're two members away, let's say you have 10 members on a team, when eight members start surfing, you're two members away from that perfect rally, and it'll say, hey, only two more members need to join in, and we'll get that perfect rally. The team integration. So yeah, this is you can enable the chat announcements. This is how often it can post. So you might have it so right now it posts a maximum of 30 seconds. So if somebody joins in, if Eva joins in now and Robert joins in 5 seconds later, it won't create two separate messages. It won't say Eva joined and then Robert joined. It would wait 30 seconds and it would say Robert and Eva are now in the rally. And then it will say what the bonus is. Um, this is the notifications when a rally's coming up. So, um, with this, I have one after 30 minutes and then one 5 minutes before. So if I had one scheduled at 4 p.m. at 3:30, it would post an announcement that says, we have a team rally coming up in 30 minutes. And then 5 minutes before, it'll say, the team rally starts in 5 minutes. Get ready. And um, you can change that if you want to. And then this is when the rally is taking place, how often it does. So aside from a new member joining and every time that the bonus increases, it would also 30 minutes, 15 minutes, 5 minutes, 1 minute, while the rally is taking place, before it ends, it would announce 30 minutes before it ends. It will say the rally ends in 30 minutes. This is the result so far. So you can add more notifications or you can space them out or you could just leave them set at the default. This is what we use at Traffic Era and it seems to be working pretty well for us. The appearance. So this is what appears on the surf bar. So it says, and this is just a visual look at when the rally is live, it shows this. There's a countdown. It shows what your bonus is, how many members are participating. And then over here it says three more surfers for 2.5 multiplier. And then the perfect rally when it's achieved, it shows this. But all of this is customizable. You can change the colors. Um, so you can make it if you wanted to make it a dark theme, you could choose midnight. If you want to make the font bigger, you can make it 16 font. So whenever you set any of these down here, and you can change the color so you can make it so the perfect rally is a special color. You can change all of these colors, and whenever you change these, it updates it up here. And when you get it the way you want it, you can just click save. The tiers, this is how many members need to participate in the rally and what the bonus will be. So you've got the warm up, you've got building. So if you get up to four members surfing in that team rally, it goes up to a 1.75 multiplier. If you get 21 members surfing, you get 4 times the activity points for every member who's surfing. So you can see if you have 20 members surfing and each of them have that 4 times multiplier on their activity points, you can see how the teams that manage this really well and schedule this and really coordinate with their team can really skyrocket in the rankings just by timing these correctly. So this really encourages team coordination. It's not just, I'm just going to set up a team. Yeah, I'll join a team. And then, occasionally when I'm surfing, yeah, I'm on that team. I'm getting bonus. That's nice. This really rewards people for really coordinating with their team and working together as a team, taking advantage of that new chat room, really talking in there. Hey, I'm going to be surfing at Thursday at 3 p.m. And then somebody else might say, "Oh, I'll be in there as well. I can jump in at 4 p.m." And then the team captain say, "Well, do you want to schedule a team rally at Thursday at 4 p.m. if a lot of you be available?" And you could say, "Yeah, that works for us." And then, maybe a few of the other members who weren't planning to surf or say, "Oh, there's going to be a team rally Thursday at 4 p.m. I'm going to log in and I'm going to surf." So you can really see how this can really increase activity and engagement at your TE. The rally slots. So one thing that I did at Traffic Era is all of my upgraded members who have a team can schedule one rally per week. But if you're a club member, you get two rallies per week. So as the team captain, you can schedule an extra rally every single week. So I've added this so you can take advantage of that same strategy and really increase the value of your upgraded membership to your team captains. And rally history, this just shows all of the previous rallies. It shows which team scheduled it, who the captain was, um, and then you can see how many members participated in that rally. So this just gives you a snapshot of which teams are really taking advantage of that and how well they're doing. One thing that I think I forgot to show earlier, this is part of the team surfing update, but when you go to your teams, you can now send an email to the team captain, or you can send an email to everyone on the team. So if you see somebody who's really taking advantage of the um, team rallies and doing really well, you might send the captain an email and just congratulate them. Say, "Hey, good job. You're doing really well." Or if you see a team that's pretty active but they've never scheduled a rally, you might email the captain and say, "Hey, we have team rallies. We think you could double or even quadruple what you're earning if you start taking advantage of this." So to do that, you just click on, if you wanted to just mail the team captain, you can click on captain. This takes you right into GeniuXs where you can schedule your email and then it'll go directly to that team captain. If you wanted to email the whole team, you would just go back, you could click on team, and then every member in that team would get that GeniuX email. If you have, here's another strategy. So if you see a team who's really doing well and they're scheduling those team rallies and they have, let's say, a silver membership and you have your gold level where you're giving that extra rally. If you see somebody who's really active and they're doing really well, you might email the team captain and say, "Hey, I see you're doing really well. Did you know that if you upgrade to gold, you can schedule an extra rally every single week? Here's a special offer." And then you can, if you have a template, if you want to set up a template where you only offer this to the team rally captains that you want to upgrade to gold, you can set up a special offer for them. And then you can go into GeniuX and just like um, any other features, when you send out a GeniuX email, you can have an HTML page with a special offer, and then you can send that out to those team captains right here in GeniuX. So I think that's a really powerful feature that you can take advantage of. So yeah, I think that these team surfing updates offer so many advantages to LFMTE exchanges. It builds the bonds between team members, so it gets people more engaged in the system. It gets them working together, coordinated, communicating and socializing with each other in the chat. And all of that increases activity, increases member loyalty. It just makes members feel better about surfing at your exchange. They get a better experience. They get to interact with more people and they get those higher rewards. And then as the owner, it benefits you as well because you can tie things like the team captains or those extra rallies to some of your higher level upgrades. Or you could create a whole new upgrade. You could create a whole new level that's dedicated to extra team rallies and You can sell that as an offer when you install this plugin. So this plugin is available now. The updates for the private messaging, the team surf, the chat plugin. If you have those already, you get the updates for no additional cost. You just go into your admin panel and then you can update those three plugins. And then our new plugin, the Team Rallies plugin, is now available. And if you go into your LFMTE account and click on latest plugins, you'll see that we are offering a discount on the new plugin. So right here at the top, you can see Team Rallies. It's normally going to be 125, but just for the launch period, we've dropped it down to 95. And on top of that, we've brought back our 2-for-1 offer. So let's say if you don't have the chat plugin already, um, you could get the Team Rallies or the Team Surf, and you could request the chat plugin as your free bonus. So for every plugin that you purchase, you can pick any other plugin of equal or lesser value and get it as a bonus. And it just explains here, equal or lower price, just send in a support ticket, let us know which plugin you want. Um, so the three plugins are at the top. Team Rallies. Now, if you don't already have Team Surfing, we have this available here. So you could have it so if you don't have either plugin yet, you could get the Team Surfing today. That's $97. And then you could get Team Rallies, the brand new plugin, as your free bonus. Because right now that one's only $95. So you could purchase the Team Surfing for $97 and get Team Rallies as your free bonus for $95. And then we've got the chat plugin at the top. Again, we're still running a really good discount on this one. This one used to be $110. We've dropped it down to just $45. So that gives you the full chat experience. So it gives you the community chat between all LFMTE plugins. It lets you set up whatever rooms you want that you can admin yourself. And if you have Team Surf and you have the chat plugin, it gives you that new team chat plugin or that new team chat where every team has their own private chat. And again, this is huge on Traffic Era. Um, any of the top teams, I can see, the team members are really taking advantage of that chat. So this gives you those same features right here in your LFMTE site. All right. Are there any questions, comments, or feedback? Does everyone understand what we've announced today?
Did you record this, Josh?
Yes, yes, this is being
Okay.
recorded.
Because Ken says, am I late? He turns up 30 minutes late and then asks if he's late.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, we've recorded this and we'll release that as well. But does everyone see the advantage that this has? Before you just had team surfing and it just kind of sat there. And yeah, you could create a team and some people tried to coordinate a little bit, but you really, unless you were using private messages, you really didn't have a good way to keep in touch with your team. Whereas this is, whenever they're surfing, that tab is there so they can go into their team chat and they can chat with each other in real time as they surf. They can coordinate these team rallies, so they're doing things as a group. And it just, I think these new features are going to completely redefine the way people think about team surfing in the LFMTE sites.
And just think about this as well. This gives you complete control and contact over the most active members in your website. The influencers in your website, the team captains. This gives you control over them to push them further into stuff. I mean, that's what you got to look at this. So, control of the influencers within your traffic exchange. That's huge.
Yeah, and that's why I see at Traffic Arrow we have several big influencers who are really good at managing their teams, and they're the ones who are always at the top of the rankings, and they get other people excited as well. The biggest teams, we have teams that have 25 members, they're maxed out, and all of their members are surfing, and it's quite incredible what those really good team captains can do, and this gives them the tools that they can use to take advantage of that. Um, okay, I'm just looking through the questions. Uh, so Gary, th this is for the team captains. As the owner, you can set this up. You can set up what you want the bonuses to be. You can set up, which features you want on and off. But once you install these and once you enable them, the team captains see all of these options in the admin panel. The team captain can choose when, and I may have not shown that. Let me go over and I'll show you what it looks like from the members side. So I'm going to log in. So this is an account where I'm a team captain. And if I go to team surfing and go to rallies, this is where I can schedule a rally, so I get to pick the exact date and time that I want my rally to start. And then for both members and team captains, if I click on what team rallies are, this is a full explanation of how the whole system works. And this probably does a better job than I did today explaining how it works from the members' perspective. It goes through exactly, it's a 60-minute power session where your whole team surfs together for boosted rewards. Your team captain schedules the rally in advance, and when it starts, it runs automatically. Just be surfing during the rally window and you're in. And then this goes through exactly how activity points goes. It goes through what all of the boosts are. Now, if you update anything in your admin panel, this page updates automatically. So you don't have to go through and update these instructions and figure all this out. You just set what you want the bonuses to be in your admin panel, and it'll tell your members on this page exactly how everything works. Um, Talks about what perfect rally is, and then there's a special section for team captains where it says the team captains can schedule it, and then these are all the settings that you can set. It has to be at least 20 minutes in advance so the team has time to plan around it. There must be at least 8 hours between. So again, these are the settings I showed earlier in the admin panel. You can customize this however you want this to work on your TE. Um, And yeah, when they're ready to set one up, they just go to this page, schedule a rally, they pick their date and time, and then they can go into the chat room and say, I just set up a rally, and then the team members will see a countdown as well. So when the team rally gets closer and closer, they'll see that countdown on when the next rally will be. Okay, so that's what the members see from their perspective. Okay, the activity point system. It is a separate, so it's the same activity points that was in the old Team Surfing plugin. It is a separate value, so it's not their credit balance or their XP balance. It is a separate balance for the teams. And it talks about if you go to Team Surfing and go to rewards, it talks about how it works here. So far your team's earned 2 activity points. And then it talks about how many bonus credits that translates to at the end of the week. So basically, how it works is however many activity points you earn at the end of the week when the teams reset, it splits those and turns them into credits depending on how many members were active. Um, let's see. Okay, I think that's all the questions. Does anyone else have any questions, um, comments, or feedback? All right then. All right, the new plugin. So if you have existing plugins, private message, team, surf, or chat, if you already have those plugins, you get the updates for no additional cost, and then you just update in your admin panel. And then the team rallies plugin, that's the new one. You can go to your LFMTE account, get a special discount on that, and also 2 for 1. For every plugin that you purchase, you can pick any other plugin of equal or lesser value and get it as a free bonus. You turn chat off. How do you turn it back on? It should just be a checkbox. Are you talking about as a surfer or yeah? If
Is there a way to turn off for the admin to turn off chat so the chat doesn't work at all, or
yeah,
yeah?
yeah. It's just a checkbox. I'll show you. So you just go into your admin panel and you go to chat. Settings. There's a few things here you can, if you want to turn it on and off it completely, you can just check this box. So this is like the main control for all of the chats. The team surfing, if you want to turn that on and off, that's this checkbox right here. And then for your individual rooms, you can go to chat rooms, and then each room has a box. So this is just the default one. This is the community chat. You can just check this to turn it on and off. Um, and I think that's it. So yeah, the one for each room here, and then under chat box settings. So on these 2 pages, chat box settings and chat rooms, there are checkboxes to switch them on and off. Um,
Uh, Mick's asking a question, and I'm sure we can arrange that. I just, it's the way we said we abandoned them. There's a stab in the back there, Mick.
yeah, yeah, we can work that out. And yeah, we haven't abandoned LFMVM. I know Marty had a lot of server issues, and I know there were a lot of things that she had to take care of that I know she's got everything up and running now. It looked like she got all her mailers back up and running, and she got LFMVM back up and running. So um yeah, she should be moving forward on that. But yeah, we can send us a ticket. I'll have to double check your account, but yeah, I'm sure we can work something out. Okay. So yeah, so the new LFMTE script update. Let's talk about that now. Because that has GeniuX updates. So if you go into GeniuX and GeniuX AI. We've made GeniuX AI a lot smarter. It's a lot more capable, and it's also easier to use. The old version was a little bit quirky. You had to open the toolbox, and it didn't really say that you had to do that. So if you asked for a change and you didn't have the toolbox open, if you had that closed, the changes would still load in the toolbox, but you just wouldn't see it because the toolbox was closed. The new version just works a lot better. So if I said, let's say if I go to my page editor and I just say change, well, actually, it's one of the examples. Change the color of the first heading to red on the sales page. When I send that in, now GeniuX is working. Now it opens automatically. So you can see the previous version and then you can see the new version. So you can see them side by side. So you've got the old version. Here you can see it's got the black headline and here it's got the red headline. So it looks exactly as I want. Now I can click save and close that, and that's it. So this toolbox opens automatically when I wanted to display a graph showing my cells, if I wanted to create a new widget, um, it appears right here and it opens automatically. So I think that will just make it a lot easier to use. And it's also a much smarter, a much more capable AI running on the back end. So you can see, let's see, I don't have it open here, but I'll go ahead and create it. So widget creator, one of the examples is a calculator. So I could say create a nicely designed calculator widget, allow the user to input the numbers using either their keyboard or by clicking the number and operator keys on the calculator. So this is one of the examples that we had before, but with the new system, the widgets just have a lot cleaner design, and it's also more capable of what it can do. It can create widgets that do more advanced functions, and it can customize the widgets better if you ask it to add a new feature or change the way something looks. It can do that a lot more better than the old models does. But the widgets, it takes a little bit while because the widgets have a lot more code than just changing a color or something like that. So it takes normally about a minute for a widget to come back. But when it does, it's going to open in this um, AI content toolbox over here. And you can flip back and forth between your widgets and any AI content. So if you have widgets that you're working with. Let's say you create a widget that has all of your site macros in it. Whenever you need it, when you're writing an email, it will be right here on the side, and you can just flip to your widgets and it can create one that has a list of all your macros. I know that's one that I created on our own site because that's something that's useful. Okay, so here's my calculator. So you can see it's got a more elegant design than the older ones. The other ones were kind of basic, but you can test it right here. You can see 5 plus 5 equals 10. So yep, it works exactly as I want it to. And I could call it calculator, and then I could give it, this is a calculator widget and then install it. And then installed, and then I can go to manage my widgets. I can make sure that it's enabled. I could have it on my main dashboard, or I could have it off to the side here. I'll go ahead and do both. So when I enable that, when I go back to my main page, you can see here's my calculator. And then if I go to any of my other pages, let's say I'm looking at my sales packages and I want to work out some math. I can open this calculator and close it anytime I want. So if I want to go through my numbers and if I want to add up, I have 1,000 credits, I'm charging $10 for that. I can just work out the math, if I'm doing 5,000 and I want to charge, you know, uh, you can, you see, it's just, where it can be useful. It's also one thing that we've added is before you have your LFM widget where it can talk about commissions, it can talk about members, but if you want to get into anything about banner ads or text ads or anything like that, you would have to go to your LFMTE AI because the LFMTE one is trained on LFMTE tasks. And I know this sometimes causes confusion. People would just open it up, they would go to the LFMAI and they would say, how many credits does Robert Putty have? And then the LFM one couldn't answer that because it wasn't trained on TE stuff. But we've introduced something called unified mode. And it's still in beta testing because it does a lot. It has a lot more features, and we might still be making tweaks and things like that. So I did label it as beta just to give people heads up that it might still have a few bugs that need to be worked out. But when you switch it on, it combines everything except the widget creator. Now, I kept the widget creator separate because that's still kind of a separate, very specialized function. And I think it's good for the widget creator to still have its own training. But this new GeniuX assistant combines the LFM, the page editor, and the LFMTE AIs into one, and it has a lot more capabilities. Let me just open my members in another tab so you can see that it's working. So you can see here I've got my two member accounts. This one has 50 credits. This one has 1400. But I could say something like give all of my members 100 extra credits. And now the new one can do stuff like this. Now, when you ask it to make a change, it will ask for your approval because there are cases where the AI might misunderstand what you're asking for. You know, if you say give 100 credits to, you know, my gold members, and for some reason it thinks you mean any upgraded member, you know, that it probably wouldn't make a mistake that simple, but there are cases where it might misunderstand what you're saying, and you don't want it to just go and edit your database and just give people a bunch of credits by mistake. So every time you ask it to do something, it will say how many members would be affected. It will say exactly what it's doing. Add 100 credits to every member's current credit balance. So this says right here how the AI interpreted what you asked it to do. So give all my members 100 credits and interpreted it as you want to give 100 credits to every member's current credit balance. And then it'll show the query in case you really want to know exactly what it's doing, but you could just say preview affected rows, and this will list the members that would be affected. So if you say do something for my gold members, you would see only your gold members listed here. So you can see exactly what it's going to do, and then if you're happy with it, you can say approve. And then when I go here, so I asked it to give all of my members 100 credits. So when I refresh, you can see it did exactly that. The account that had 50 credits now has 150 credits. The one that had 1400 now has 1500. Now, if I go back later, if I realize that was a mistake, I didn't really want to do that. Let me just, I'll reload it so I can reopen this conversation. And then if I decided that was something that I didn't want to do, I could roll back that change. So I could say, oops, I didn't mean to give my members 100 credits. Let me roll this back. It would say, are you sure you want to undo that? Click OK. And now when I refresh it, it took those credits away. So I'm back to 50 credits and I'm back to 1400. It can also do things like I'm going to start a new chat and then I'm going to say, let me double check. Yep, John Doe. Um, change John Doe's membership level to upgraded for 1 month. Let's say I want GeniuX to give them a 1 month upgrade. GeniuX can also do stuff like this. So now it's processing, and just like before, it's going to ask me for approval. So it's going to make sure upgrade John Doe user number one to the upgraded member level for 1 month, expiring August 25th, 2026. So when I click approve, I can go back, and when I refresh this, John Doe's now upgraded. When I click edit, I can see that it expires on August 25th, 2026. So it did exactly what I asked it to. So you can just see this is stuff that GeniuX couldn't do before. You know, now you can ask it, give this member a credit, you know, give this member an upgrade. You can say how long it is. And then you can see right here, instead of just having it do stuff that affects your database, that, you know, it might misunderstand you, it shows this approval for every action that's about to take. So you can say, okay, the AI understood my request. This is exactly what it's going to do. I can see which of members are going to be affected before it does it. And, in a worst case scenario, if, you really decide, that was a mistake and you approved it by mistake or something like that, you can roll it back. So I think this significantly increases GeniuX's capabilities. I think it makes it easier to use. You don't have to worry about, if you do something like you ask it to edit a page and you forgot to open your toolbox, it won't do it in the background and just make things confusing. It will open it for you. Um, it has a lot more capabilities. It can edit your members. It can, add credits. It can add banner impressions. It can, you know, extend somebody's upgrade. You can just ask it in real language, just natural language, what do you want it to do? And it can do a lot more things than it can do before. Okay, so I think that pretty much covers the admin side of the GeniuX updates, but we do have one more update for GeniuX that we are really excited about. Um, and that's our splash page builder. So GeniuX, when you log in, now you see a new, if you have our GeniuX membership, you see a new link inside geniux.com that says create a GeniuX splash page. And you may have seen this when I posted it in the Teams room. This is a splash page created by GeniuX. I asked it to create a splash page to announce the LFMTE owners meeting Saturday, July 25th at 3 p.m. Eastern. And it did exactly that. It created this page. It designed this really cool image that matched our branding. Um, and I said the two things that we're going to announce are team surfing and GeniX AI updates. And to implement those concepts into the image. So you can see right here, it did that. It's got some team members surfing over here, and then over here it's got some things representing GeniuX. So it's got the GeniuX chat. You can see that's kind of represented that here. It's got the brain right here. And I just think this is a really cool image. I think it really captured a preview of what we were going to announce at the meeting today. Here's another one it created. I said, create a splash page for Traffic Splash and Farm Traffic announcing a cross promo that we're going to do on July 20th. So let's say I'm doing a promo, surf 100 pages, and they get 50 bonus credits at both sites. And I uploaded the logos for Traffic Splash and Farm Traffic, and I told it to have fun. I said, make a fun combination of the Traffic Splash theme and the Farm Traffic theme. And this is the image that Genius created. So you can see it's got the Traffic Splash logo and it's got a wave and a surfboard. And then over here, it's got the farm. And you can see that it's mixed it together in one cool image. If I wanted to do just something like Traffic Splash has, special rewards in the food game, I could, ask it to combine a picture of a cheeseburger with the Traffic Splash logo. I'm sure it would come up with something really cool that looks really good for that splash page. But the splash editor itself, let's see. Okay. So it's really easy to use. So when you open it, it shows all of your splash pages that you've created, and you can click create a new splash page. So you enter the site you want to promote. Let's say trafficsplash.com is what I want to promote. I can click on analyze. And when I click that, it's now working in the background and it's analyzing my site and it will write a description for me when it comes back with that. You can see it's reading the page and now, so it's understood that create a single purpose traffic splash. And you can edit this if you want, but it said create a CTA with a stream of website visitors. So it came up with a unique idea based on Traffic Splash. And let's say that you wanted to use your logo in the splash page. You can upload it here. So I'm going to go ahead and upload. I've got the Traffic Splash logo. So I'm going to say Traffic Splash logo. If you wanted to make this, Robert Putty recommends, Robert could upload his image and then say, put my picture in the splash page. And it could do that. It could create a branded splash for you. Um, but if I was actually doing this, I'm just going to go through this kind of quickly because just for the demo, but if I wanted to change the wording and everything that it recommended, so it came up with some wording, earn 250 to 750 new visitors per hour, and that's directly from the Traffic Splash sales page. Um, but I could edit this however I want. But then when I'm happy with this, I'm going to click create. And now this uses a really high quality image model and text writing model to design the splash page. So it takes, maybe a minute, 2 minutes for it to run. But when it comes back, it will come back and it will refresh automatically with the design. But while this does, I'll just go over a little bit of what we're offering. So we're including this in the GeniuX membership. So if you already have a GeniuX membership, you can go ahead and log into your GeniuX account, and then you should see that page right here that says Splash Page Builder, and you can just click on that. And we are giving everyone 20 Splash credits every month with your existing GeniuX membership. So you can use that. You can create up to 20 splash pages, or you can edit a splash page. So creating a new splash page or editing a splash page costs 1 credit. So you get up to 20 new splash pages or up to 20 edits every month. Um, but in most cases, I found that I really don't have to edit these splash pages very much. The LFMTE one I was showing you earlier, that was the first attempt. I didn't ask any edits after that. I just went into detail. I said, I'm going to be having an owners meeting July 25th at 3 p.m. Eastern, and I'm going to talk about a new team surfing plugin, and I'm going to talk about GeniuX AI updates. Can you combine those two concepts into a nicely designed splash page that announces the meeting? And that was what it came back with on the first response. I think it did a good job of keeping the look and feel of our site as far as the fonts goes. All of the fonts matched our logo. Um, and that page I posted, that was the first result. But if I did want to edit anything, if I wanted to, make that text a little bit bigger or change the wording, or if I made a mistake, if I said it was 2 p.m., I said, oops, it's actually at 3 p.m. I could make an edit and say change 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. and the AI automatically updates that for me. Um, Yeah, I think that's about it. When it does come back, I'll show you how you can add it to your affiliate toolbox because we made that really easy as well. Now you can go to your affiliate toolbox and you don't even have to copy and paste the HTML. There's a new button when you go into your admin panel and go to affiliate toolbox. There's a new button that says add a splash page from GeniuX. And when you click on that, it shows all of the splash pages that you designed in GeniuX. You just click the one you want. It automatically imports it. It adds the image. It changes the affiliate link to whoever's promoting it. So it goes into your affiliate toolbox. And if Eva logged in and went to that splash page, it would have her affiliate link in there automatically. Okay, so here's what I came back with. So I can click on full screen. Like, so yeah, this is pretty good. So it's got my logo in there, and this is this was the concept that I came up with. It's got the 250 by 750 wording. And if I wanted to change any of this, if I wanted to, you know, change any of the wording. Or if I wasn't happy with this image, if I wanted to try something else, I could just edit with one prompt. I could say, um, you know, shift the palette towards midnight blue. If I wanted to make it green, I could say, give it a green color scheme. And then from here, I can download my zip file. If I wanted to download, I could copy the HTML. But instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you that new feature. So I'm going to go back to my admin panel. I'm going to go to Affiliate Toolbox. I'm going to go ahead and close that because I don't need it anymore. But I'm going to scroll down to where I add a splash page. And here's that new button, Import from GeniuX. I click that. I can see here's the splash pages I was showing you earlier. And here's my new one that I just designed. I want to add that to my Affiliate Toolbox. I'm going to check it. I'm going to click Import and it closes this and you can see it's imported the code automatically. But if I go in as a member, I could just go to my affiliate toolbox and there it is. So you can see I didn't have to copy and paste in the HTML or anything. I just told GeniuX exactly what to design. Then I went into my admin panel and I imported it. And then it automatically passes my affiliate ID number. So it's automatically got the RID too. So all of your members are ready to start promoting this right away. All right. Are there any um, questions, comments, or feedback about the GeniuX updates? I'm just gonna scroll through the comments now. Um, yeah, it does, Ian. It does like even said, send us a support ticket so we can see exactly what's going on. It does update it, so it might just be that you just need to refresh to see the new interface because we completely replaced that one. The old one was a little bit clunky, a little bit difficult to use. It had that affiliate toolbox that you had to open separately. No, not the affiliate toolbox, the AI toolbox. It had the AI toolbox that you had to open separately, but it didn't really tell you that you had to, so it would make changes in the background. This new one's just a lot easier to use. It's a lot clearer to see what you're doing. And when it makes a change, it opens it up for you so you don't have to go through and try to find it. So we replaced all that, and it might just be that you just need to refresh, or you might need to um, clear your cache to get the new one. But if you could send in a support ticket, we'll take a look at that for you. Um, okay, I'll talk about the next generation LFM in a minute because we do have.
I just want to say here now, Josh.
Mhm.
You remember the bad old days when you had a good idea and you wanted to do a promotion and you wanted to get some splash pages done,
Yes,
and you had
yes,
to go and talk to somebody and then wait a week. With this, right, you can have an idea at 9 o'clock Monday morning, have the splash pages done by 9:30, and be promoting it by an hour later instead of having to
yes.
wait days for splash pages for a new promotion. I mean, if somebody can contact you and say, "Do you fancy doing a promo between us?" And between the two, you could have splash pages made in 20 minutes. I mean, that's excuse my French, but that's freaking insane.
Yeah. I mean, I remember those days. You know, there were only a few designers who really knew how to design a good splash page, and sometimes they would be booked up weeks in advance. You know, if I wanted to do it was a special launch, I'd have to put off my launch for a month because I'd have to wait for the designer to get back to me before they could do any work for me. And yeah, this completely changes that. If I wanted to do a splash or a promo with farm traffic tomorrow, I could create a special splash page just for that promo and get it out rotating. And like you said, what was it? Was it 10 minutes ago that I started talking about GeniuX? And now I have something in my affiliate toolbox that's ready for members to promote. Um, yeah, it completely changes the way that you can promote your site. Um, yeah, so we've included this in the GeniuX membership. If you go to geniux.com, um, I'll go ahead and put in the link in
But
case.
there is one question in the Q&A in the bottom, Josh. If
Okay,
you scroll down, it's been there for a while. So
okay. Oh, I do see that. Okay, let me put in, so yeah, GeniuX.com. Put in the link. But yeah, if you go here, we've created one monthly service that includes the splash page maker. It includes all of the GeniuX updates in the admin panel where you can ask it questions. You can get to design widgets. You can get to update your members. All of that's included with one membership. And it also still has our theme generator. So you can see we've also made some adjustments to that as well. It's a little bit of a better designer than it was before. But let me show you the old one. I'll go from here. I'll go to trafficsplash.com. This theme right here, this was designed by GeniuX, this whole thing. I just uploaded the image, but it's got this the clouds going by, it's got the sun, it's got the palm trees waving in the wind, it's got the water effect. If you scroll down, you can see, let's see where, there it is. It's got a little fish that swims around in the background. Just a very little minor touch. Yeah, it's got a footer. All of this was done by GeniuX. Um, we had to design a whole new theme for us with the animation, with the special effects, and um, also, by the way, it's also up to date with the latest web standards. So if you have an old theme on your site that hasn't been working very well, or if it's got like on the banner sites, some of the older themes had an issue where the banners and the stats would get out of alignment if you had more than 20 or so banners, and the further you go down, the more out of alignment that table gets. That was a bug with the old theme. The new GX themes fix that. So this builds you a brand new theme, a fresh look, all on the latest web standards, and it's included in that GeniuX subscription. If you go to your GeniuX members area, this it has your AI balance. It's got the new splash page builder. It's got the theme generator. If you click on that, I've already used my monthly limit because I was testing. I made some updates. It's now got a smarter AI that's even better than the one that built the traffic splash one. I was testing it quite a bit, so I went through all of my monthly limits for that. But when you go here, this is where you can design a new theme, just like the one in Traffic Splash. Um, and yeah, this is all included with one monthly membership. Um, okay. Are there any questions, comments, or feedback about GeniuX? I'm just going to scroll through the questions now, make sure I didn't miss anything. Okay, Q&A.
but also at
Okay,
the bottom there, also at the bottom there, Josh, without that chat, down where it says you can share and all that stuff, there's a Q&A button. Someone's
yeah,
asking.
yeah, yeah, I see that.
Okay.
The App Store, it should be reconnected. I know that was the issue that Marty was having earlier. I know she was having a lot of server issues. I'm going to double check that. But I think she got that fixed. I think LFMVM is connected to the App Store. I'm going to double check on that. But yeah, I do think that we're going to get back to LFMVM updates. I've kind of stepped away from the VM industry myself just because I wasn't running my own mailer. I wasn't keeping up. I didn't feel like I was the good person to be deciding what updates LFMVM had. So I've let Marty take the lead with that. I've partnered up with her, and she's pretty much running the day-to-day operations of LFMVM and deciding which updates because she has a bunch of mailers. She has a bunch of really popular mailers, and she knows the viral mailer industry inside and out. So I felt like she was a much better person to be running LFMVM. Well, I focus more on the TE side of things because I've got traffic error. For example, I'm running traffic error. I see the team surfing. I see how members are using it. So I knew what updates would be really good for LFMTE. The team chat, the profit rallies. I keep up with the TE industry a lot more, so
I
I
was
felt
just going
like
to
it would be better
say
for me to
that
focus
that
on
that
TE.
if you're an LFMVM owner, then you have to take some responsibility for that decision because while we get lots and lots of feedback from TE owners about what they would like in their traffic exchange, we got zero zip nada from the Vira mailer owners about what they wanted or needed in the system, which is why we went to Marty because she was running Vira mailers and had more of a thumb on it. But
Yeah.
if we'd had more feedback, then we may well not have done that.
Yeah, I think it goes a little bit of both ways. And yeah, I do know that that's something that she's trying to work on. I think she's got a new tech person, and I think she's trying to get them caught up to viral mailer things. I know that was one of the things that she was trying to work on as well. But so yeah, I do think she's going to be getting back into it. I think she's got all of her server issues resolved. I was helping her a little bit with that, with getting the domain names set up on the new server, because I know she just had some major issues and major setbacks that she needed to sort out. But I think she's gotten over those hurdles now, and I think she's going to start moving forward. But yeah, I do feel like Marty's better to take the lead because it was like Robert said, we weren't getting much feedback, but also that's partly on me. I really wasn't engaging with the viral mailer community as much as I engaged with the TE
No, I
community.
don't think that's fair either because at every meeting we'll. So I don't think that's fair either because at every meeting we always ask the environmenters speak to us, talk to
Yeah,
us,
yeah,
and nobody ever did. That's the problem.
yeah,
That was where the problem lies. So if you're, I repeat, if you're a environmental owner, you have to bear some responsibility for some of those changes because we didn't get any feedback from you.
yeah,
And now I've made everybody feel bad, but that's the case. I mean that was part of the decision.
yeah, yeah, and we also weren't really part of that. But yeah,
No, we weren't
y-
we weren't.
y-
I'll grant you that, Josh. But we tried to get owners to talk to us and give us more of an idea of why. I mean, the GE owners are not shy in coming forward and telling us what they want, what they need.
yeah.
But environmental meetings are crickets, nothing.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I definitely agree. We had a much better connection with the TE community, and that's also where our background is. We've been running TEs for 20 years now, so we know that industry inside and out. And I do think Marty's the best person to be running LFMVM. I think, now that she's gotten some of the technical issues out of the way, she's connected with that community. Um, yeah, I'm optimistic. I'll be there to support her from the LFM side and, get some updates here and there. But yeah, I don't want to focus too much on LFM VM, especially since Marty's not part of the conversation. But I do think it's going to be brighter going forward for LFM VM. Um, okay,
Anyway, Get back to what Josh has done for the TEs. I mean, really, I'll do a recap. To be able to control the influencers in your site, that's flipping huge, right? The very people that can get all of your other um, members surfing more, and you have total control over them, and you can encourage them to do that stuff. That's also, I mean, that was something we couldn't do. I mean, 5 years ago, 2 years ago, as an owner, it was frustrating trying to get members to coordinate and to surf to get things moving and all that kind of stuff. But now, with the team surfing the way that Josh has set this up, we control over the team. Now you have, I don't know, however many team members are on your site. There's 20, 30, 40 other people pushing your website, telling your members to go surf, not just you. I mean, that's if you can't see how big that is, really, then you need slapping across the wrist because that's something that I would have given my back teeth for 10 years ago.
Yeah, yeah, it's huge. It definitely gives a whole new meaning to the team surfing elements of TEs. You know, a whole new way to bring people together, get people coordinated, get people surfing. You know, that's what's worked so well for Traffic Era for 20 years now, is just that bringing people together and, you know, not having it something that's just there or, you know, you switch to a tab and say, oh, this is another feature or something else to distract me while I'm surfing. This is something that people are actually using to coordinate. You know, people are working together. People are having fun with it. It, yeah, I do think it's huge. Um, Yeah, so yeah, that's the team surfing updates. We've got the updates to the existing plugin. We've got the team rallies plugin. We've got a special discount on that. We've got the 2 for 1 on top of that. So you can purchase for every plugin that you purchase, you can pick any other plugin of equal or lesser value. Get it as a free bonus. Just send us a support ticket. Let us know which one you're looking for. Um, And yeah, Gary, that is a good point. That's something that I think has kind of happened in the LFMTE side of things. But at Traffic Era, there is no cash. Traffic Era has no cash rewards. It's never paid any cash rewards, and yet it's still one of the most active TEs on the internet. Why? Because members are engaging with each other. Members are working together, they're coordinating, they're focused on teams and the rewards and social networking with each other. They're focused on that rather than the cash rewards. And I think the updates that we've released today, plus the new Team Rallies plugin, brings LFMTE into that direction.
Yes, you know, something else that never should have happened, really. But I mean, the whole cash thing is silly. But we're software developers, and our customers asked for it, so we gave it to them. But it's dumb. If you give cash
Yeah.
away on your website, I'm sorry, that's dumb.
Yeah, I mean I think it comes in moderation. I think it depends on what type of site you're building. I mean, Traffic Era, I don't see me ever giving cash on Traffic Era. Now, Traffic Splash, we give cash in moderation. You know, it's not something, it's not every day surf 10,000 pages and get a penny. You know, we've never done that on Traffic Splash and we never will. But for special surfing events, we give it out in moderation. So it's really up to owner choice. What works best for you? We tried to make the software flexible so you can give the rewards that work best for your members. But I do think that, you know, the type of coordination, the type of influence that the team surfing updates provide, I think that would be good for everyone. I do think it's a step in the right direction on, you know, making TEs less about surfing a lot, you know, get a bunch of cash and everything's just kind of in there. This is about coordinating. It's about really paying attention to what the features have. It's working with other members to see what works best for everyone's schedule, getting everyone on the same page, getting everyone excited about these special events. Um, I think that really, I think this is really going to take TEs in the step where they need to go to get better results and, get meaningful results, not just people surfing 10,000 pages to get a penny. Get members who actually surf for years and years and get them coming back and build member loyalty. I think that's what this is working towards. Okay. Yeah, and just to recap the GeniuX updates, we've got, GeniuX is smarter, it's easier to use. If you're already a subscriber of to GeniuX AI, you get all of these new benefits today. You just get it with the script update, and you just log into GeniuX to get immediate access to our new splash page builder. Um, if you're not a subscriber to GeniuX, just go to geniux.com, and it's just 29.99 a month. Just $30 a month. So it's a lot cheaper than a lot of AI services, and you get all of that in one monthly subscription. You get the splash page builder, you get the theme builder, you get the integration throughout your admin panel. Um, we've tried to make it simple, so you get everything for just one subscription. And now I'd like to give you a preview of what we're doing next. Because this is something that we've really been working on and we haven't talked a lot about it, but it's really going to be the backbone of what LFM and LFMTE are built on going forward. So let me show you a little presentation. And this right here, this is about the next generation of LFM. We haven't decided what we're going to call it yet. LFM version 5 might be the most logical or the most logical name, but we're calling it LFM Modern. Um, but this year, LFM turns 20 years old. Uh, 2006 was when version 1 launched, and it's done one thing. It's made it easy to build online. It's got the list building. It sells the product. It's got the funnels, your one-time offers, your login offers. It funnels people through. And it also helps you retain your members. It gives you that member loyalty with GeniuX emails and group emails and things like that. But the issue is the simple truth is that the web that LFM was built for no longer exists. And we're not just talking about the PHP updates or the MySQL updates or the browser standards. Something has changed fundamentally about the whole internet in just the past couple of years. And that's there's fewer people who are going to websites and scrolling through them. They're not going to Google and just scrolling through pages and pages of chat results anymore. Even the ones who are using Google, they're using the AI overviews. They're leaning more towards Gemini. But a lot of people, they're just going directly to ChatGPT or they're going to Claude and they're saying, you know, what am I looking for? I'm hungry. Are there any good Italian restaurants in 10 minutes from here? They're asking questions like that, and they're not going to the Italian restaurant's website. Instead, they're getting a response right in ChatGPT that says, you know, uh, Tony's restaurant is 10 miles down the road. And I think LFM needs to adapt in the same direction. So we need to think about things like somebody might say, find me a membership program that helps me learn how to build a list and sign me up for it. And then ideally an AI will say, done, here's the program. And ideally it'll show them your program. So LFM version 5 takes two approaches for both the existing web that people are familiar with and also the future web that everyone's moving towards. So you get to keep your existing website, your sales page, your login offers, your split tests, your downline builder, all of that will still exist. The commissions, payouts, everything about that is still exists. It'll be modernized. It'll run on the latest PHP, the latest browser standards. All of that's being modernized, but we're adding MCP to extend that. And MCP are apps. They're mini apps that complement your website. So for Instant Banner Creator, for example, you might have the membership site where people log in, they manage their banners, they create new banners. But then you have the MCP aspect of it, where if somebody's in Chat GPT and they say, I want to design a new banner ad for my program, Instant Banner Creator opens up inside ChatGPT and they talk to the AI to get the banner that they want. And then it uses Instant Banner Creator, it uses your membership benefits to create that banner inside ChatGPT. And that's just one example. If you have, Instant Banner Creator, it might be a banner designer software. If you have an e-course, it might load a video that you've recorded inside ChatGPT. So your business exists inside of the conversation. So this is a conversation with an AI agent. And, you remember might ask, what's my rewards balance at this site? And what Elephant version 5 will do is this will be ChatGPT responding, and it will pull up a box that looks like this inside of ChatGPT that shows what their balance is, and you can make offers in there. You could say, redeem towards a pro upgrade or however you wanted to structure your business and structure your funnels. They're actually seeing this inside of ChatGPT instead of going to your website. And the two features complement each other. So things that they buy inside of your website and things that they edit in there will also reflect what they see in ChatGPT and vice versa. I think this is the way that the web's going. So Elephant version 5 takes two approaches. It keeps your existing website and then it also expands with these MCP apps that complement your website. And also, I know we did a lot of GeniuX updates today, but what we're building for LFM version 5 is on a whole new level. We're talking about an AI that sits alongside with you as you go from page to page. So you're not going to GeniuX AI and saying, update this member's account or give them credits. You're going to your members page and GeniuX is sitting right beside you and it's saying, I say 214 members whose upgrades expired. Do you want me to draft an email for them to help win them back? And then you say yes or no. GeniuX will draft the email and then you preview it, you review it, you say, hey, that's a good idea. Go ahead and send this email to those 214 members. Try to win them back. If you're on your affiliate toolbox, GeniuX might be there and say, hey, do you want me to design a new splash page for you? GeniuX will see what you're working on. You'll see what page you're working on. And we are rebuilding our apps platform to integrate with MCP and to integrate with GeniuX. Okay, you could install an app that gives GeniuX new capabilities. For example, we might update the team surfing plugin and GeniuX might be able to say, these are your top teams this week. Do you want me to email the team captains congratulating them and telling them what they won? And then you say, yes, GeniuX, go ahead and send that email. It proposes and you approve. So like I showed you with what we did today, when I asked GeniuX to upgrade John Doe's account, it showed exactly what it was going to do before it did it. It said, okay, I'm going to upgrade John Doe to the upgraded membership level, and it will expire August 25th, 2026. And then you click yes or no. In Elephant version 5, it'll work the same way. So GeniuX will think about what it can do to help your business, and then it will say, hey, I can do this for you. I can write an email that does this. Do you want me to go ahead and do that? And then you review the email before it ever goes out, and then you say yes or no, or that's a good idea, but let's make these changes. And then off means off. This means if GeniuX is in the way and it's annoying you, you could tell GeniuX to just go away. If you just want to go through your members area and then you want to, you know, look up an account and upgrade them manually the old-fashioned way, GeniuX can stay out of the way. The entire admin panel will work exactly as it does today without GeniuX. And all of this, everything that's in LFM today, will be part of the new version. So the list builder, you can have a free front end where you can build your list. You can have, they'll support PayPal, Authorize.net to check out. And we are looking into adding Stripe. Now, I don't know if Stripe supports traffic exchanges. That's something that I'll have to double check when I get to updating LFMTE. But I know a lot of businesses in general have been asking about Stripe, so that's something that we are hoping to add in LFM version 5. Um, they'll have multi-level funnels, they'll have different membership levels. All of that will still exist, but everything will be extended by the new apps platform that's being built by the ground up um, for what LFM needs to do. And then it keeps all of your records, all of your members, all of their purchases, everything will migrate automatically when we update the new version. So yep, everything that you have, all of your data will move forward. It will move to a more secure way of storing passwords, but it will update automatically so members don't have to reset their password. They don't have to send in a support ticket. We're trying to make this as smooth as possible. Everything will be built for the latest PHP, so you don't have to choose an old PHP version. You don't have to worry about deprecated notices or warnings or anything like that. We're planning to fix all of that, but it will still run on cPanel. So you just log into cPanel, you upload LFM version 5, and then there will be a one-click wizard that takes you through the process of updating all of your data for you. And this is just a little bit thing. It's interesting. We're using AI agents, a pretty well network of planning, research, implementation, and review agents to make sure that everything is being done precisely. There are actually, every time I make an LFM update going forward, once we move to version 5, it will automatically test everything on the three most recent versions of PHP, plus the three most recent versions of MySQL and MariaDB. It will do things like it will automatically create 100 members and it will set one member whose upgrade is expiring tomorrow. It'll run that test and then it will run the cron job and then it'll go back and check and it will make sure that um, that member has downgraded. And there's 417 so far of tests just like that. It will make sure that your payments are going through. So every time I make an update, it will make sure automatically that AI will verify that everything's still working. And this is mostly a benefit for us, for me as a developer, but it'll also benefit you because it means it'll make it a lot easier for us to make updates and catch bugs before they get released. So we're just completely modernizing our whole development process to just make everything a lot more reliable and allow us to make updates. Allow us to implement suggestions as they come in a lot more quicker without having to go through all the different PHP versions, see what broke, make sure everything's still working. Because right now we have to do everything manually, both for the script updates and the plugin updates. And that's why it literally takes months to test, what looks like a simple plugin update, but it just takes months to go through all of the different scenarios. With the new system, all of that will be automated. And then as the human developer, I'll just have to review that. I'll just have to verify that worked. I'll say, okay, everything looks okay. All the tests ran, everything checks out. I'm going to approve it. And then we release the update. So this is where we are now. we've completely rebuilt the foundation, and I would say that's by far the hardest work because we've completely redid the app architecture so it integrates with the AI. So it has MCP built into it, both for increasing GeniuX's capabilities as well as increasing the stuff that you can put into ChatGTP and that you can put into Claude so you can reach your members with the services that they're using. Um, Right now, we're working on the AIPN, and then after that, we already have the foundation in place, but we just have to go through the sign up page, the offers, the email engines. Um, Going to rebuild GeniuX, and then we'll be ready to release. But we're not putting a timeline on anything right now. We're just testing everything. We're making sure it works because we want to make sure that it's a solid foundation before we release it. Yeah, that's it. So that is what we have. And we'll keep you updated as we're working on it. LFM version 5, we're thinking near the end of the year, and then maybe next year we'll be completely rebuilding LFMTE on the new LFM. But we'll keep everyone updated, and we'll have more owners meetings going forward um, to keep everyone up to date as we release new plugin updates, and then also moving towards this new major platform update. All right. Are there any questions, comments, or feedback? I'm just scrolling through the comments now. And yes, Gary, the new platform, we're building this, we're testing it on PHP 8.5, which is the newest version. And it'll also go back to PHP 8.3. So we're testing it with three different versions, and we're going to keep it up to date on the latest version going forward. That was that was the big thing about all the tests is whenever a new version of PHP comes out, we'll just be able to add that to the test, make any adjustments we need to go, and um, it will test that everything is still working. Um, that's probably the biggest part of the code base isn't LFM, but it's actually the tests. It's actually testing everything that might happen on a live site. You know, a member joins, a member upgrades, a member buys credits. It creates a test for all of that. It will make sure that when a member buys credits, that the right amount gets added to their account. And then when a new PHP version comes out, we already have that test version written, so we can say, okay, PHP 8.6 is out. Let's run that test to make sure that members are still getting their credits. And we'll be able to run through all those automatically and hopefully support new PHP versions within weeks of them being released.